But the way she says it is, I was looking forward to the wedding, knowing that once it was over, it was over. It's just like,
I
wow.
know.
You
She's
know,
just like, I want this to be done. And
yeah, done.
I
And
don't
she
know,
said,
is it in
then I
this
don't have
chat?
to do anything for a week, a month, a year. I don't need to talk to anyone. And you're like,
But what is she wearing? The wedding dress, Linda.
oh, yes, the wedding dress.
Remember the wedding dress they force her to wear?
So I don't
It's
understand. Like, so she had all the choice and she just was like, yeah, I don't like the wedding dress, but I'm just gonna wear it, this big fluffy thing. But even Tamlin doesn't like it. He says she looks ridiculous, but she
yeah,
just wears it.
she says, I really truly hated my wedding gown. It was a monstrosity of tulle and chiffon and gossamer, so unlike the loose gowns I usually wore. The bodice fitted, the neckline curved, and Tamlin laughed about it.
Yeah,
And even
he loved
Alice,
her.
as she dressed me, had hummed to herself and said nothing. So even Alice isn't even doing anything.
Nobody cares about this dress. The only person that liked it was Ianthe, and she's just forcing her to wear it because she's like, oh, this is what everyone expects. And you're like, say something,
Gives a
Freya.
shit.
But also, she
Yeah.
doesn't want to get married. She's like, I can't wait till this is over, done. And you're like, right, not a reason to get married.
Literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth, literary labyrinth, labyrinth.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Literary Labyrinth Podcast. Hey, welcome back, or thank
Welcome.
you for joining us if you're new. My name is Leela. I love escapism and fantasy world and stories with unrealistic standards for men.
And my name is Linda, and my life is a bit chaotic. I hardly have any time to read. And when I do, I am an exceedingly slow reader.
And we are two sisters, one who reads fast.
And obviously one that reads really slow. So if you don't know, if you've not seen our episodes before, what we do is we break down a book every so often and we'll break it down by a couple of chapters and go through it because that's the level that I'm at. And hopefully that you
Yes.
can read along with us and discuss the story. Oh, our
Yes,
thoughts on the
and
story.
so if you haven't listened to our previous podcast, we went through A Court of Thorn and Roses. So we took sections of a chapter at a time, as Linda has just said, how we run our podcast. And we managed to finish that in 4 episodes. Now we are moving on to a new book. So shall we reveal said book, Linda?
Yes, I mean, can you guess? It is A Court of Mist and Fury, book number 2 in the
But also I
series.
love, yours is tabbed and mine's just like...
I can't remember. I read and I go, this is important. This is important. So I need to remember to discuss these points with you.
This is fair. This is very fair. What I should say is, similar to when we went through A Court of Thorn and Roses, I have actually read this book. I'm rereading it, but this is the first time, am I right, Linda, that you are now reading this book?
And this equates to the tabs and the questions that I have of this fairy world and what the hell is going on.
But what I will say is the book after this, I have not read. So that I'm going to after this, I have no idea what's going on. But what I will say is, please refrain from spoilers for yourselves if you haven't read it, but also for ourselves and Linda, who has not read it.
Stop now if you haven't read A Mist of Fury. Yeah, A Court of Mist and Fury. Stop now.
Yes. And if you would like to listen to our previous episodes on A Court of Thorn and Roses, please feel free to do so. But alas, the time has come. We are now going to delve into the world of Prythian all over again.
Prythian?
And am I right? Am I still getting that wrong? Is it
who
not
knows?
Prythian?
It's Prythian. It's
You know
whatever
what?
you want it to be.
You keep telling me how to pronounce it, and I keep messing it up. I'm sorry, listeners. But here we go. So today, we are going through part 1 of, and it is called The House of Beasts.
So we're going to go through chapters 1 to 13 today. And where we left FEYRE from A Court of Thorn and Roses was she got her happy ending. Everybody was freed from under the mountain, and she got to go home and live her life with Tam Tam.
And she's not human
Oh,
anymore.
yes, and she is now a high fae fairy thing. I mean, I was a bit like, what? Where is your family? But no, she's gone back to the Spring Court with Fei. So this is where we come back and see her.
And it seems, even within the first chapter, her life is pretty bad.
She's got PTSD.
Yeah, which, I mean, she has the nightmares. So we kind of start off this chapter with her going through, she's going through a nightmare, and she's vomiting in the toilet because she's got the same thing of when she went through the trials under the mountain, stabbing those innocent fays for Tamlin.
Right. Before we do that, I had a question. When is this
Yes.
supposed to be set? Because I've thought it was like mystical, like romantic-y, like 1700s. But they've got definitely plumbing in there and toilets. So I was like, oh, okay.
This is why it's romantasy, because it's medieval with the touch of fantasy. So in this fantasy, they do have plumbing. They have toilets.
The working toilets. Okay, I just wanted to put it out there that if anybody else has thought that.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, because FEYRE just be vomiting in a bucket.
Yeah, she has been vomiting a lot.
Yes. And I should mention, there's one additional thing on the map.
I didn't even notice. What? I didn't notice that.
So
that?
between
Valahan.
these books, this is not mentioned, but in this map, I noticed, I like to always check the map every time there's a series and there's something new. This is added, and it's above the fairy realm, and it's called Valahan.
I didn't even notice that. I don't know what a Valahan is. Is it like that place where they go to heaven?
Cannot remember, if I'm going to be honest, but we will soon find out.
Okay.
So yes, she's in the Spring Court with Tamlin, and she's vomiting because of the terrible PTSD of what happened under the mountain in the previous book. It's not looking good for FEYRE.
No. And then so she's supposedly living this like lovely life in the Spring Court. She's now in this is the thing I kind of avoid. She's just come from that whole she's been a badass in these 3 trials, and now she's
completely lost that.
Yeah, she's lost it. She's now wearing like fuchsia and green, like big fluffy dresses, and
which Tamlin had picked out for her. Can we just say that?
I was like, okay. And I was like, right, you're doing this. She's a load of feeble, doesn't stand up for herself. And then she's like, oh, and then Tamlin proposed to me after 2 months. And I was like, what? What? You weren't really even together when you went under the mountain. Like, what's... And he's thousands of years old.
Well, I mean...
and he can't wait.
Well, hear me out. I think after going through what she went through, declaring her love for this man, if he didn't propose to her, he'd be a bit of a dick. And we're not going to lie. I think... But obviously...
It's not something to set a relationship on. Guilt. I feel guilty because you saved me. Yeah, just get married. Like, no.
Well, the other thing she keeps looking at as well is the tattoo that Rhysand put on her, remember, with the symbol in the palm of her hand that's like an eye. And so she's like, oh crap, not only am I having PTSD, but I have to remember I've made a bargain with the High Lord of the Night Court, Rhysand.
Who's creepy.
Who's creepy because he licked her tears. Remember that?
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this for you," and you were like, "Oh, he is being nice, but in a creepy way." And you were like, "You could
just how high fays roll,
creepiness." But okay.
So chapter 1 essentially is just her in bed in the Spring Court with Tamlin, and she's got up, she's vomited, she's back in, she's shaking. She's not feeling very well. It's all just not feeling very good. And it ends with, and I didn't think even eternity would be long enough to fix me. So she depressed right now. She is down in the ditch.
And they don't have therapists in Prythian. There is no counselling happening in that place.
I think we've established that Fays don't even know what a therapist is.
No.
They don't.
I mean, I kind of skimmed through chapter 1 because I was like, right, depression, and then went to chapter 2 and it says that Tamlin's going through the same thing. And, you know, everybody there needs a bloody therapist after everything that went through, but nobody's stepping up to that profession in Prythian. There's a big need.
No, they don't. I mean, chapter 2 is another thing, which I do feel bad for FEYRE again, because, you know, every time we had that thing about Tamlin saying, yeah, you're almost there, Tamlin. Yeah. It's like, here he goes, maximum just douchebaggery. And I don't even think he knows. It's like, he's a guy that's just being a douchebag and he doesn't even know it. So, for example, chapter 2, there's a situation where she would like to go to the village to help, as you said, rebuild it. And Tamlin is like, no, because there's still dangerous creatures that have slipped out of the protective ward. So that's the other thing. What happened to all the dark creatures that Amarantha ruled? Where are they?
Yeah, and I was a bit like, what? Why are you standing for this? Like, she literally saved your soul. Like, if there's anyone that can protect everybody else, it's her. Like, you just need to let her be. Why are you protecting?
It's guilt. It's the guilt. He doesn't know how to deal with it. He's going, because I couldn't do anything for you and I made you go through all that shit, I'm now, in my stupid, idiotic way, protecting you, which basically is not really protecting her. He doesn't know. He just thinks, if I make sure she does nothing,
and dresses up like a princess, and she's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And he even says, like, go do some painting. And she's like, I get zero enjoyment from that. Another sign of depression. Things that you used to enjoy, you no longer enjoy. And I think there's this notion in Tamlin, he's just like, I want things to go back to the way they were. And it's just not going to happen.
No, definitely. It's not going to happen. So, we kind of get here and it's like a bit of a depressing area. And then a new character is introduced. I can't pronounce her name. Is it Ianthe?
So I looked this up and there's actually 2 versions of her name. It's Ianthe, which you're right.
Okay.
And then someone said, hold on, I have it here. Ionthe, which I'm going to go with Ianthe. I think that's more appropriate.
It could also be Ianthe.
Ianthe. But yes, alas, yes, there's this lady. Where the F is she come from?
Yeah. How come we never heard about priestesses before? Like, I'm a bit like, right, okay, so priestesses are at every court. Right, that sounds a bit Witcher, doesn't it? Do you remember when there was like a witch?
To your Witcher.
When there was like a witch at every court or something, kingdom. Like, that's like, there's a priestess at every court.
There was no mention of temples, things like priestesses, nothing like that. And yeah, anyway, so now apparently there is, or maybe it wasn't safe. I don't know. I'm just sus about that.
And now she's here. She's got a whole like little place that Tam's left for her, and she's now like Freya's best friend. And you're like, oh right, when did that happen?
But then that's like, she's in a vulnerable place. We don't know who this Ianthe is. And she's basically going, I will do everything, FEYRE. You just follow me. You know, and also she's pushing this narrative that Tamlin is doing to FEYRE. He's going, wear the clothes, make sure it's the colourful dresses, that replace all the tunics that she used to wear, the pants and stuff. You're going to wear fluffy dresses. He's changing her entire personality. And also
she's just let her plan the wedding as well.
Now it's like, okay, you're my fiance, so we're going to get married. So now she's using that as a thing of expecting it. Once I get married, I'll be happy. Yeah, and that's just Delulu, girl. It's Delulu.
No. And now Ianthe's like, right, I'll plan the wedding. And she's like, yeah, great, that's fine. Thanks. You know more about this than I do. And I'm like,
she's manipulating a vulnerable girl, and Tamlin's just letting, like, how do we even know this person? Suspicion.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, do you want flowers? She's like, oh, not red. I don't want red flowers. You're just like, if someone had said that to me and I was like, oh, no, not red because, I've got PTSD from them.
Blood.
I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the right time to get married right now. Maybe it's more time to focus on you. No, let's push forward.
Let's get the help that you need. No, we need you to do this. It'll be fine. But then what happens is Tamlin's like, no, stay here. Just, be with Ianthe. She's going to tell you about how to do the wedding. So she's like, fine, I'll get into the wedding vibes. And then when he comes back, he just keeps going, I'm really sorry. I know you were just trying to talk to me, but let's have sex.
Oh, God. It's the whole, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's have sex. I'm really sorry.
Let's have makeup sex to solve the problem. No, you're just not solving the problem. You're just shutting her up with sex.
Yeah, I was just like, this is not great. This is kind of, it's just going to be worse. Okay. And then we hear, when she says to him, oh, if when we get married, will I be the high lady? And he's like, no, there's no high ladies. But I thought Amarantha was a high lady. Have I got that completely wrong? Maybe
I think she just kind of invented.
She was the high lady.
I don't think there is I think the idea is typically there are no high ladies. They're mainly high lords, and that's it. But yeah, it's a bit of a gray area for sure. And I just love it that she's just, is everyone just going to call me Tamlin's wife?
Yeah.
Do I get a title? And I'm like, fair point.
Yeah, I mean, you just saved everybody's ass. I feel like you should.
Yeah, and then he says, I mean, it's ridiculous. She's asking a serious question, and then he said, do you want a title? Before I could answer, he nipped at my breast and then licked over the small hurt. So...
Oh, yeah, shut up now.
Tamlin is a massive manipulator right now. He is, if anything, between these two books, A Court of Thorn and Roses, and the second book, Mist and Fury, Tamlin has just, instead of becoming a better man through all that happened under the mountain, he's actually just turned into more of an asshole.
Yeah, I thought maybe he turned out and say,
I mean, that's what I think. What do you think?
No, I don't think he's turned into an asshole, but I think he's just...
No.
He is suffering from PTSD, but the way his is coming out is that he's overprotective and shutting her down. Like, he's the one that's right. It seems that she's got all the attention from being, breaking Amarantha's curse and all this across Prythian. And everyone's like, wow, it's FEYRE. And he's like, no. She's my prize. I'm the one in charge and I'm going to keep her there. And she's just let him do it. So I'm not sure what happened there. And that's how he is now.
Yeah, it feels like every time people allow Tamlin to just get away with stuff, he just keeps doing it. There's nobody there to say, no. Even Lucian.
Yeah, he's a dick to Lucian. He is literally a dick to Lucian every time. So why do people let him get away with it? I'm not sure why people are letting him get away with it. And I'm like, FEYRE, stand up to him. And Lucian, come on, just say no.
Understandably, FEYRE is not in a position to really... She's lost her fight. That's what's happened here. She has lost her fight, understandably, after all of that insanity that she went through. And Tamlin is... Do we think that if Tamlin isn't an asshole or douchebag, is he just doesn't understand? He thinks he's doing the right thing?
He doesn't understand emotions. Yeah, he just doesn't have emotional sensitivity. Yeah.
So there is a mention here at the end of chapter 2. It says, High lords only take wives, consorts. Has never been a high lady. She responds, but Lucian's mother, to which Tamlin says, she's lady of the autumn court, not high lady. So basically prejudiced against females.
Right, okay. So, yeah. Living in the same kind of world as ours. Fair enough. But, so, in chapter 3, this is another thing. He just disappears on missions for weeks or
Yeah.
days, and she's just left there by herself, and she's not allowed to go anywhere because sentries or whatever guards are all over the place, so she can't go anywhere. And so she's left there by herself, has only this Prythian to talk to, and he's nowhere. Like, you're just like, this girl sacrificed her whole life. Come on, at least give her a bit of news where you're going.
No, she hasn't been given respect. She's been treated, in my opinion, in a fancy prison in the Spring Court. That's what I think. She's been told what to wear, how to dress, where to go, and he's not really looking after her. He's almost gone to Ianthe. Can you just deal with it? And I'll just have sex with her when I come back. That's what he's done.
It kind of makes me think, does he still want a relationship here? Like, why have you kept her here? Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is a great relationship anymore. So maybe you should break up.
Did she turn into a fae and then he was, ew, I don't like you?
Yeah,
or,
no, I'm just
I preferred you as a human because I
and
was
he's
much
just
more
gone
superior.
over the wall for all these days, just going, like, I'm going to get some like attention over the wall. See ya, bye.
Yeah, because it says Tamlin's guilt must have hit him hard because although he was gone the next day, Lucian was waiting with an offer to inspect the progress of the nearby village.
Oh, yeah, the village they go to visit. She's like, yeah, I'm going to help out at the local village. But they don't want her there.
No. It's just so awful. But then apparently the next day, Lucian takes FEYRE to the village and they discuss like Tamlin, why he's not there, or they talk about why Tamlin is not allowing FEYRE to just roam around and that he does care. He's just weird about it. And, I'm just trying to protect you. Blah, blah, blah. It's like Lucian is trying to keep the peace. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, he's basically doing what Tamlin should be doing. It's like having a chat with her face to face, going, this is why.
Yeah.
This is me explaining Tamlin's reason when he should be doing it himself. And she's like, all right, I don't want your pity, but I get where you're coming from. Like, oh my God, Tam, why are you not doing it yourself? Why are you getting like your wing guy to do it?
He's just the worst tampon ever, honestly. It's terrible. And what's the other thing I made a note here about? Yes, there's the whole thing about how they have to pay the taxes.
Oh, the teeth?
Yes, right. I'm going to look this up. Yes, it's spelled Tithe. So I think it's called the teeth. But let me just double check.
While you're doing that, so it says twice a year, each member of the Spring Court, whether they're high fae or lesser fae, must pay a teeth, dependent on their income and status. It's how we keep the estates running. And I was like, oh, right, okay, well, that gives us a bit more thought. Yeah, that I wanted to know how things are paid. Was it just magic, or how did you get your food?
Apparently, it's tithe.
Tithe. Oh.
Tithe.
I assumed it was the tith.
Tithe. Yeah, tithe. Okay, we'll go with that. So the tithe. Yes, exactly what you said. And so Tamlin's trying to help them understand this is how we do stuff, FEYRE. We're at the tax and
can you
my dad did it.
What do you discuss at dinner?
Tamlin doesn't. They don't communicate. They don't communicate. And every time she does, he just goes, I'm really sorry, let's have sex.
Yeah. It's
what
a
the
terrible
hell?
relationship. I don't think he has an interest in her or cares what she thinks. He just wants a pretty thing to sit on the throne with him. And that's it.
Yeah. And I think it's, in my opinion, because now she is a high fae, that and the circumstances that became that, she's a known across the entire course. So being able to marry her is a kind of claim, like nobody else can have her. She fought for us. She's the savior. She's under the Spring Court, and that makes the Spring Court much more reputable across the other courts. And that's my thinking that Tamlin is doing, but I just feel Tamlin is just exhausting to keep up with. in terms of his bullshit.
Yeah, he is becoming annoying, and you're just like, oh God, you're emotionally challenged, and you just want her as a possession, and you
Yeah.
don't actually care about this girl, what she thinks, how she
No.
is. There's no relationship there.
No, it feels superiorly different to how he was in the previous book. It's to me, when I read this book, it was a complete 180 of his
Yeah.
his standard behavior. He was still an idiot, but seems to be really missing the mark after everything that we just went through.
But
How are
in
you
the
being
first
like
book,
this?
in the first book, he wanted something from her. We didn't know at the time, but he wanted her to say, like, I love you, and to fall in love with her to break the spell. But and so he was on his
Yes.
best behavior going, I'm going to be really lovely and romantic and stuff. There's no need for him to be romantic anymore. He's got what he's wanted and he just wants that. He doesn't want
But
to talk to her. He doesn't want a girl to talk to him.
no, you're right, and I don't like to give Tamlin kudos. He did tell her, go back to your village and forget about it. So he was trying to, in his idiotic way, save her, and then the Fae people would just be subjected to Amarantha. But that was still a stupid decision, because if that had happened, Amarantha would have come over the wall and taken all the human people. So she wouldn't be safe anyway, even if she traveled by sea. So yes and no. 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
So I guess after the whole Spring Court must pay a tax or be hunted down by Tamlin.
Oh yeah, hunted down. What do you just like? Is it, you get a day a head start and he's gonna kill you?
I mean, it is crazy. It's just,
and I'm like, where was hunting rights? Where was she before when calamari was going on? Was it calamari? Yeah, calamari. When was she there?
Callan me. Callan me.
Well, it seemed like that's where she should have been when all that was going on.
As soon as Ianthe popped up, I am and have always been completely suspicious of her. Why is she there? What is she doing?
Does something happen later on that she's done? Ooh.
I mean, do you not feel the suspicion with her?
Yeah, no, there is a bit of, there's another alternative motive there. And I don't know if it's to get her a bit more prominence of being in the court. I don't think there's anything like romantic with her and Tamlin, but I think it's more about her being like the top priestess and,
the manipulation.
Prythian's top, not like top models, top priestess. She wants to be the top priestess. And she's like, yeah, this is to get me there. Prythian's top priestess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's going to rule them all.
I can't even remember the theme tune to America's Top Model, but whatever.
But like, that's what I think. It's more likely that's what she wants to be, is the best of the best. And she's like, yeah, that's why I'm going to use this girl.
But what's crazy as well is when they're talking about the tithe, whatever. So every member of the Spring Court must pay tax or be hunted down. And Tamlin's trying to help FEYRE understand by reminding her that he was forced to watch his father murder his love.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes, that happened. Yes, you were traumatized by that. But that's not an excuse to keep doing it.
Uh-huh.
You could not do it.
Yeah, just maybe break the cycle. So, it was a bit of a weird
anyway.
There.
And I do feel bad that when FEYRE tries to go to the village and say, I can help with this, everybody rejects her. And they say,
yeah, they're all like, we don't need your help. I know it's not in a bad way. They're all like, you've done so much for us already. We don't you. Yeah. And that's a whole big thing. It was just like, rest. You've done everything you can. You should celebrate and take your time. And she's like, no.
But she needs to be busy. She needs to be busy. She can't. The worst thing about depression is sitting on your butt with nobody around you, stewing in it. You need to be busy and try to step by step do things. But no, these fairies haven't got a clue about mental health. They do not.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody just goes on. And yeah, they've had an awful time because some of them weren't under the mountain. I don't know where they were. There were some fields or...
hiding in under a rock somewhere.
They were underground or something, in tunnels or something, and in the darkness, and they didn't see light. So I was like, oh right, okay. So they had a terrible time.
Yes, that's right.
But
I do feel I'm happy that Lucien is there. I know you wanted to help. I'm sorry. He's there as a comfort. But my issue with Lucien is he doesn't try hard enough, in my opinion. He's never.
He's
I
just,
don't know. Do you know
like,
what I mean?
I really think I could help. Then he says something, and then he goes, okay. And you're
he bows out quite quickly as soon as Tamlin's, says something. Lucien then just goes, okay. Come on, Lucien.
Yeah, what happened to
but anyway,
the guy in the first one who was a bit, cheeky? He would they'd argue back and forth, but cheeky ways and stuff. And now he's
where is that guy?
He is just and now it's just everybody is just completely changed, because Tamlin was always grumpy and lonely. She was all feisty and I'm going to stand up for myself. And Lucien was there going, I don't think about this. And he was just being cheeky and giving her one word, being he was helpful, but he did send it to the cereal because he thought she was going to die.
He's not the best guy. Let's just put it that way. He is underhanded.
But now he's completely changed to this wimp, and you're like, what? What happened?
I think it's because he almost died inside that pit, with that weird worm thing, and then she saved his ass.
Oh, it's the bit with it was the was it the thing that was coming down, right. And she had to read. Yeah.
It's because he shouted at her when she was in the pit that then he got put in one of the trials where she had to pull a lever to save him. That was it.
He couldn't read, and all the kind of spikes were coming at him, and he was like, Shiza, we're going to all die, which was true.
Yeah.
If Rhysand hadn't been there.
Rhysand. Yes, that's
hadn't been there to give her an electric shock. But yay, okay. So anyway, the chapter 4 starts and it's wedding time. So this book is a lot better than A Court of Thorn and Roses, where maybe the start of
yes.
Yeah, I'm only at the start of it, but it is a lot better, and I'm so annoyed.
I will tell you, no spoilers. This is a better book. This is a better book. It is a better book.
This is how I'm enjoying this a bit more than a bit. Oh, I want to go home.
It is the thing. People did say to me, they did say, get through this one, and then crack on, and you're good. And I was like, okay. So it is true. It is true.
Okay.
Chapter 4, wedding ceremony. Guests begin to arrive. Tamlin's,
but
blah, blah, blah.
The way she says it is, I was looking forward to the wedding, knowing that once it was over, it was over. It's just like, wow.
I know. She's just like, I want this to be done. And
done. And she said that I don't have to do anything for a week, a month, a year. I don't need to talk to anyone. And you're like,
but what is she wearing? The wedding dress, Linda.
Oh, yes, the wedding dress.
Remember the wedding dress they force her to wear?
So I don't understand. So she had all the choice, and she just was like, yeah, I don't like the wedding dress, but I'm just going to wear it, this big fluffy thing. But even Tamlin doesn't like it. He says she looks ridiculous, but she just wears it.
She says, I really, truly hated my wedding gown. It was a monstrosity of tulle and chiffon and gossamer, so unlike the loose gowns I usually wore. The bodice fitted, the neckline curved to plump my breasts, and the skirts were a sparkling tint, practically floating in the balmy spring air. And Tamlin laughed about it.
Yeah.
And even Alice, as she dressed me, had hummed to herself and said nothing. So even Alice isn't even doing anything.
Nobody cares about this dress. The only person that liked it was Ianthe, and she's just forcing her to wear it because she's like, oh, this is what everyone expects. And you're like, say something, Freya. But also, she doesn't want to get married. She's like, I can't wait till this is over. Done. And you're like, right, not a reason to get married.
Well, that's the pinnacle of it, isn't it? Because as it's getting closer to her walking down the aisle, she's got dressed. She's saying to herself, "Somebody please save me. I don't want to get married. I do not want to get married."
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, it literally says, "Save me, please save me. Get me out. End this. Help me, help me, help me." I mean,
Yeah, and then she walks down the aisle bit, and what did she say to Anthony? "I don't want red flowers." What did she put? Red flowers. So she literally sees drops of blood and has a meltdown and PTSD episode, and
but that makes me
she's done that
even
on
more
purpose.
suspicious of her. Yeah. Why would
She's
she
done that
do
on
that?
purpose. Yeah,
That's
so
nasty. I went, Ianthe needs to die. That's as simple as that, in my
so
opinion.
yeah, she's having a mental breakdown. She stops in the middle of the aisle. He's like, "Come on, FEYRE, Tam." He's like, "Coming this way," and she retreats back. Ianthe tries to get him, and
Yes.
she's just saying, "Help, help, help, help" in her head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's having a
It's so,
time.
I know, I feel so bad. It's like, "Come, bride, and be joined with your love. Come, bride, and let good triumph." Ianthe being a total bitch,
I
because I
hate
don't
this whole
trust her at all.
good has triumphed, and you're like, no, God, you are
And
really
she's
setting
just
this up for the
going,
fairy tale.
And she's like, "No, no, no, I don't want to." Then the best thing happens. And
Yeah.
when I read this, I rejoiced and was like, "Damn, son."
I actually forgot. I forgot that they'd made this bargain that she was going to spend a month in the night court,
Yeah.
and I completely forgot that's why
Ah,
she got the tattoo. And I was like, oh yeah, she's
but you
not.
know he heard her. You know he heard her because she was going, "Help me, anybody, save me, save me."
Yeah.
Which is exactly why he and what's the best entrance to a wedding is thunder crackling, and it's just great. It says, "Thunder cracked behind me as if two boulders had been hurled against each other. People screamed, falling back, a few vanishing outright down to the blah blah blah." And then smoke and wind, and then I found Rhysand, the Night Court High Lord, straightening the lapels of his black jacket, going, "Hello, FEYRE, darling." He
Well, at least he
purred, and
dressed
I'm
for the
like,
wedding.
"Take me now." After reading those 4 chapters, at the end of that, I'm like, "Rhysand, take me now." And the fact that he's like, "Hello, FEYRE, darling," I'm like, baller move. Just so good. It's just, that was like, this book is so good right now.
Yeah. I cashed in the check now. You have to come with me
Yes.
to a monthly visit right in the middle of your wedding.
Oh, yes.
But would he have done that if
Brilliant.
she hadn't been saying, "Help, help me"? I feel like he might have done it anyway, just to piss him off.
I think he would have done it. You know what? I'm not sure. I think, considering how if she had the same mental state, yes, I think he would have stopped it. But regardless if she'd said "help, help," but I feel if things were different and she was, but me, Tamlin, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah,
But doesn't matter. Rhysand to the frickin' rescue. Hello. That's what you want.
And I was
Before we move on, if you haven't checked it already on socials, so Linda, your daughter, tell us the story about the scene.
Yeah,
I have never been prouder how old is she now? She's 6, right?
6. Yeah, I was reading the
6.
book, and she was like, "I want to do some drawing." I was like, "No, you need to go to bed." And she said, "No, I'll draw." And I was reading this bit of the book, and I was like, "Well, this is what's happening in my book." And she was like, "All right, okay." And then she just went off, and she came back
The
with
wedding bit.
with a wedding.
It
And I
is
was like,
so
wow.
brilliant. I was just so impressed, and we put it on our socials, but it is genius. It is Tamlin standing, FEYRE not wanting to go, and then Rhysand at the other side going, "Hello, darling."
And she's like,
I
"Look,
was
Mummy,
like,
he's sad." I was like, yeah, she is that actually. Yeah, she is. All right.
She doesn't want to get married. Beautiful. That was just had to put that in there because what an iconic scene and an iconic picture drawn by a 6-year-old. Top notch. Loved
She
it.
got it.
So now we enter into chapter 5.
Oh yeah, we go to the night court because he. Oh, do we? Oh no. There is a bit where they're having a bit of an argument first before he takes her. Where he's
do
just
they?
like, yeah, basically it's just Rhys going, hi, I'm cashing in my check, remember? We made an agreement and Tamlin's like, don't you dare. This is the wedding.
I love the bit he says, what a pretty little wedding. And you're just like, just everything he's saying.
It's thinking of it. It's giving me the liking to remember when Maleficent comes in to the christening and she's like,
you weren't invited. She's like, oh.
Yeah. What? Well, I have a present. And that's what made me think of this with Rhysand is like, it's like Maleficent coming in with the darkness and going, oh, I'm going to curse you. But
it's a baller move.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Ianthe
so
just disappears as well, which makes me feel like there's something going on between them two. What has happened between her and Rhysand that she's scared of him?
I think there might be something, but she's obviously terrified, which basically means she's chicken shit.
Yeah. Something's going on there. She's ran away. And so
because he like, says, you're high... Because Rhys says, after he says, let us finish the ceremony, Tamlin's like, rrr. And Rhys says, your high priestess seems to think it's over too, as in a point of, I've noticed she's ran away.
Exactly. So he's just like, well, that's it, finished. And then Tamlin's like, name your price. And he doesn't give up much of a fight. He's just like, right, okay, no, I'm good, thanks, bye. And then they just disappear. And they just leave.
Yeah, and he goes, if you hurt her, and even Rhys is like, yeah, I know, I'll return her in a week. Yeah,
he's made an agreement.
Yeah, and it says only Rhys remained, and I hated him as I clung to him. I hated him with my entire heart. Then darkness vanished. I understand why she doesn't like him, because she's been given that side of the story from Tamlin's ears. And also what he did to her under the mountain wasn't very nice either, drugging her. And we understand why he did it, but it's still a bit creepy. So unpleasant. But then she says when she gets there, it was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. So clearly there's this depiction of the night court being this horrible, gloomy, awful place. And now we get to it, that it's bullshit.
Yeah, that it's not like that. It's supposed to be, because I think she said it's based on Under the Mountain, so she expects it to look like that in the night court. But it's not like that. It's full of stars and mountains and things. Yeah, so it's all good. And jasmine-scented breeze and not darkness.
Lovely. It does sound lovely.
But she doesn't seem happy about being rescued. She throws a shoe at him.
She doesn't trust him. She's calling him prick and your douchebag and,
Yeah, but which is a bit weird because she wanted to escape the wedding, but now she's there. She's like, oh, no, you've taken me away from my safety and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, you weren't the person. You need to just calm the shizer down.
He's being pretty calm. He's being very chill. He's not being mean to her. He's just jesting. What am I trying to say? He's just joshing with her. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's basically teasing her, but she thinks she's about to get tortured. And she's not.
Because of what's been told to her. So she has this misunderstanding.
That it's exactly like Under the Mountain. That's what Amarantha based her court on, was the night court. So you're going to get tortured because they're all evil there. And so she's like, right, okay, where are you taking me to the dungeons for a week? And he's like, no, have a nice bedroom.
He's just...
but take off that dreadful dress.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's the first thing. It's like, for God's sake, please take that disgusting thing off. It's absolutely grotesque. And then you're not a prisoner. I'm just checking in my bargain. Here's a nice room. Go chill out. And she goes, my room was a dream. She says that my room
Yeah.
was a dream. So holy crap, this must be 10,000 times better than the spring court.
Yeah, and so he's just teasing her a lot, saying, you know,
Yeah.
should I consider you anything different than a prick? And he's just like, well, you just, you know, you wanted to be rescued. You were saying help, help to me. And she's just like, oh, God. And she's just really, he's just really teasing it to get her out of her psyche, which is actually quite clever because now she's standing up for herself and she's not thinking about the whole depression thing.
Yeah, because he's clearly been helped with his mental health because he knows what to do to counteract what's actually going on because he's clearly experienced it, dealt with it, and tried to figure out how to get through it. Whereas clearly everyone in the spring court hasn't got a clue.
Let's see. Let's wait and see. Because I was like, oh yeah, Tam, he would get there. He's going to be really nice. He's going to be a Prince and Charming. And then he would do something. And you go, oh. So I'm just waiting for what Rhysand's going to do before. He's a bit like, right, okay. So yeah, she's gone to this room. She's had a bath. She's had a sleep. And she's wearing the night court clothes now, which is cool. Fancy. Yeah. Fancy
the night court clothes sound quite more comfortable than clearly what she was wearing, that trash wedding dress, which again, for our listeners, please share some fan art of that dress because I'm trying to imagine what that disgusting dress looks like. Yeah, I would like to see that.
So she goes straight to sleep and she has a really good night's sleep. Like the first for ages.
Which is the first time.
Yeah, that she's felt calm and she's going to breakfast and she sees her old handmaids from under the mountain, but now she can see them.
That's right.
So I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, and they're called Nuala and Ceridwen. I hope I'm saying that. Ceridwen. Nuala and Ceridwen. They wake her up for breakfast and they bring her the clothes. And then, you know, she goes to have food with Rhysand at the table.
She meets Mor that's there. And that's Rhysand's cousin, Mor, who is...
Oh, that's right.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So she's... Because she said, if Rhysand was the most beautiful man fae, this was his equivalent, the most beautiful girl fae, his cousin. She seems very happy and she's like, hey, how are you? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah.
She seems lovely. Yeah, I like her. I like her immediately. Yeah, she seems really nice. And don't they, after she's kind of, it's interesting because you experience it firsthand from her that what she was told about Night Court is not correct. It's pretty. It's lush. She had a decent night's sleep. Her room is amazing. The clothes are much more comfortable now. So she's set. She had a nice bath before, which she mentions is like a dream as well. And then she's met Mor. And then they go to have some food. And she's still obviously on her guard. But he replies that this week he wants her to learn how to read. Which is actually nice because he's gone.
She doesn't want to read.
Learn.
You need to learn to read. And she's like, no, I'm not doing anything. But he's kind of being like, no, you need to learn this. If you're not doing anything, you're not defending yourself. You're not putting yourself out there. You need to start to.
But it's like, why does he care?
Because he wants her status. He wants to have the famed in his court. I'm on the defensive. I'm always looking for don't trust him, Leela. He's got
You've read The Housemaid.
He's got an alternative.
You're like, don't listen. Don't listen to him.
Don't trust any of these men.
I'm like, he loves her. Magical.
No. Where's the red flag? I'm going through the book. Where's the red flag? I need to look at it. But also, I thought it was quite good to explain, because I thought, oh, right, night court, it's always night. And she doesn't understand that too. And she says, our nights are far beautiful and our sunsets and dawns are exquisite. But solar courts are more symbolic nature. We might be powerful, but we don't alter the sun's path or strength. So they do have daylight there. It's just that maybe their nights are more beautiful.
Yes, I think you're right. That's it. It's called the night court because it's quite magnificent when it hits nighttime there. And I
Yeah.
think it's also just to do with the starry sky as well. That's
Yeah.
magnificent.
But it's the
But
same in the day court, like the day there, or the dawn court, like their time is like more beautiful. But it's still, you still get daytime, nighttime, yeah, all the other times. Where in spring court, it's spring all the time.
yeah.
So the season courts
Which can't-
operate differently.
Yeah. That's an interesting one because we don't really know how the other courts function. However, does now Tamlin comes into question on his opinions of the other courts because clearly he's talking crap.
Yeah, I think he's talking crap.
He's
but
now we know he's super manipulative. He's not trustworthy. At this point, I'm zero trust. Trust has absolutely gone now with Tamlin. It was
yeah, he said that it's going to be like under the mountain. It's going to be dark and dreary. It's always nighttime. And I'm like, oh, right, it's not always nighttime. It's actually on a mountaintop. Didn't mention any mountains. And he mentioned that everybody was vicious and would like rip her apart when, well, we haven't met anybody else yet. But Moore seems very nice.
Moore seems that, yes, this is true. Moore seems nice. The other thing that we learn in chapter 6 is she hasn't really, she's only just become a fae. So she doesn't really know. So at the point, she like grabs a fork and she bends. She goes, what's that thing spiking in my hand? And she doesn't realize, but she's bent the fork. So she's now got this super strength. And even Rhysand's like, interesting. Like he looks at her as this is happening. And you start to go, okay.
Has she got powers from the other Fae lords? And he's been like, have you? And she's like, what were you talking about? It's like, that's never entered her brain.
She has zero. Also, powers haven't really been talked about. I mean, before in the last book, Tamlin said he could make the table big and small again, and it used to be easier, but he had the curse. And so now the curse is lifted, they have their full powers back. But if she was brought back to life by all the High Lords, you kind of have to wonder if she's got every single power that they've given her. And Tamlin's just made her soul just stay in the house, be weak, because he doesn't want her to discover them, maybe? Or
maybe he just wants to be the powerful one. He wants to be the one in charge. He doesn't want anybody else to know. He
wants to be the big cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And yeah, that was another thing, is that she had the shields. So it was like he can read, like Rhysand can read inside her mind.
Oh, yes.
And he says to her, he's like, put up your shield in your head and then you can stop me from reading your thoughts. And she's like, just get out of my head and all that kind of thing. But that was another thing she had no idea about. And
he's the one that's been super informative. He's gone, you could do this with your mind. Oh, have you even noticed if powers have been transferred? It would be interesting. And that's why he's seeing that fork thing and the shield going ahead. She's completely not
ignorant.
Been helped. Yeah, she's completely ignorant because nobody said, hey, you're not immortal anymore. You're a high fae. This is what high fae, and maybe you need to discover this new body of yours and how it works. Nothing.
Yeah.
And then Rhysand's gone, let's break it down.
Yeah, and so he's trying to say to her about, because I think it's his power that he's got where he can read minds. And yeah, there was the point
go in deep.
Yeah, there was a point where in the Court of Thorn and Roses where they were interrogating someone, and then he murdered them as a merciless murder so that he didn't get questioned anymore. And that was just breaking his mind, where he could do that to her and get all the information that she wanted out of him. So he's trying to tell her to stop it. Like, here, you can stop it by doing this, this, and this, and teaching her how to do it. Like, he didn't have to do that. He could go into her mind and take all of Tamlin's, I don't know, plans. She doesn't know anything, but maybe that's why Tamlin's keeping her out, because he doesn't want her to go over and share everything and all his battles, whatever it is.
Well, that's a true point, because there's a point where he does go into her mind in this chapter, and he said, you should be afraid. You should be thanking the goddamn cauldron that in the past 3 months, no one with my sort of gift has run into you. So you need to shove me out. You need to learn, because if you don't, and now it kind of makes sense a little bit more why Tamlin was going stay there. But he should have just explained that. He should have just said that.
That's it. Just explain. What's going on.
Zero communication again.
Then she goes, okay, I understand. Like, maybe we can spend time together, but when something comes important, just stick some headphones and a bag over my head and I'll be grand. And then we can spend some more time together.
And it's interesting because she's trying to do this thing with Rhysand where I don't let them coddle me. Like, that's not what happens. And he is giving her the hard truth. He is. They had you. Yeah, it's good. He's like, they had you wrapped up like a present yesterday, like you were his reward, which is true. It's not a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I mean, he does give her, I'm glad he does, because he said, I'm not your enemy. And she says, Tamlin says you are. Everyone says you are. And he's like, right, what do you think? And she's never been asked a question.
No, because she's going, okay, I'm not asking Tamlin, I'm asking you, what is your opinion? Get rid of everybody else. Honestly.
Yeah. So,
and then he then explains sort of at the end of this chapter, doesn't he, that war is still coming. It hasn't finished, you know? Yeah. So your human family are still in danger. So you need to learn about yourself, read, build up defenses, because if you think it's over, it ain't. It's not. So reality check. We're not done. Amarantha was clearly not the end, because we did hear about the king, right?
Yeah, the king of Highburn. And he is he wants to take over, and he was biding his time with Amarantha. And then he was going to take over the bit underneath the wall, which was the human realm, because that's what's owed to him. And now he's, right, this is it, I'm going. And that's all that stands, the Prythian is all that stands between him and the wall and the humans. So she didn't know that before, but now it explains what has Tamlin been doing and what has he been getting involved in.
Exactly. And the other thing is she believes that Rhysand's the one saying war is coming, like I'm the one doing it. So she's like, please don't, please, I beg you. And he just looks at her like, you really think it's me? I'm the monster?
That's how bad she thinks.
She's so corrupted. So now he's like, I am not the one doing this, okay? And she's just like, what?
Yeah, he wants to reclaim the human land, so that's what's going on. And he puts a thing up to her, doesn't he, and says, do you think you could talk to Tamlin? Because we obviously don't have a connection or relationship, but maybe you could say that we need to put our differences aside to fight Highburn. Yeah. And you could maybe help with this.
See, even my opinion of Rhysand goes up and up, because clearly he's scared. He's scared of this war. And although he dislikes Tamlin massively, he's thinking strategically we need to be together on this. Otherwise we are screwed. And instantly in my head, I don't know about you, I was like, Tamlin's going to F this up. He's not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also she was saying, like, you need to start mastering the skills and the powers that you've inherited from us. And she said, you're the one to teach me? And he's like, well, Tamlin could. And she's like, Tamlin wouldn't allow it.
And what's interesting is you kind of feel Rhys is a nice guy, because when she says things like that, he gets like he's getting annoyed.
Yeah, going,
like you can feel him going, and keep calm, but I'm actually annoyed about this. Like, she can't see that he's manipulating her.
Yeah. And he's like, I know you more than you realize, because she's being really... But it's funny because she's standing up against Rhys, but she won't stand up for herself with Tamlin. And so he's saying, I know you more than you realize, and I don't believe for one damn minute that you're remotely fine with being a pretty trophy for someone who's sat on his ass for nearly 50 years, then sat on his ass while you were shredded apart. And I was like, that's basically it. That's basically it.
That's
what he did.
Came came and he said the facts. That is exactly what happened. Because she needed somebody to tell her that. Because she wasn't being challenged. She was being coddled. And he's now just said, and I think when someone straight up says to you, you are not standing up for yourself, you're being ridiculous, but no, I'm not. And you have to go through the motions to then figure out, oh shit, yeah. You know that way where people are sometimes in a relationship, and until you get out of said relationship that maybe wasn't working, you then go, oh yeah,
they
was
were
a
a
dick.
dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. So she's still in it. So she can't, I don't know, process it.
Yeah, no, that's true. She just thinks that Tamlin has been her goal, and now she's got her goal, and this is where she needs to be. And he's like,
she's young.
Look at the
She's
bigger
young and
situation here.
inexperienced.
Yeah, look at the
Yeah.
bigger situation.
She's
Is
young
this
and
really making you happy?
inexperienced. Yeah, exactly. I would say she's 20, maybe going on 21, possibly.
Okay.
I would say so. So if we say 2021, but obviously PTSD massively and completely a different species. I do like that he gives her some writing tasks, and the sentence he gives her to write.
To help.
It's a great sentence. Rhysand is the most handsome High Lord. Hersand is the most delightful High Lord. Rhysand is the most cunning High Lord. And she doesn't quite know what she's writing yet, and then she's stupid bitch.
Yeah, but it's to piss her off and not think about the task. It's to piss her off, and he's done a good job at that, just to piss her off. So yeah,
he is. He's done a great job of that,
and she's done it. She's done it without him, without really thinking of it. Like he's actually done that to her. But yeah, we get a bit more snippets as well, because she comes up and Maas there saying Azriel will want to know this, and he's like, Azriel can go to hell, and she's like, who is Azriel? And
yes,
and
you start to hear some new names.
Yeah, and then they all go quiet, and that there's been a attack on a priestess temple, Caesar, and you're like, it's been looted, priestess slain, so that's all happened in the Night Court.
So then, I guess, at this point, after she's kind of gone through these kind of conversations with Rhys, she goes back to the Spring Court, and Tamlin is immediately an ass. He goes, sit down, tell us what he told you, what happened, give us the deets, and he basically interrogates her.
He does, he interrogates her in the she's like, I'm fine, thanks. Great, tell us what you need to know. I need to know exactly. Not kind of knowing that, what would you have thought that he was going to let go? Like, what Rhysand is he's not that an idiot. He's going to keep things that he wants you to know and keep other things private. So yeah, but I remember them saying, she mentioned Azriel's name, and they all looked at each other like, da, da, da. And I was like, ooh,
yes. So this is an intriguing person.
Yeah, because they know him. And I was like, oh, okay. So then she asks him as well, because she brings up the whole powers thing for the first time with Tamlin, and she said, do you think I have these abilities? And he said, it's possible, and if it's true, and then Lucian's like, yeah, that's something that the High Lords would kill for, and if they found out that you had their powers, they will murder you, and they murder any children that you had. And you're like, wow, really great way to handle that.
And then what does he do? He forbids her to train. He tells her, I forbid you.
So that people don't find out of her abilities. And you're like,
yeah, but then that's even worse, because if they find out now, she can't do anything.
Yeah, you're just a bit like, what? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Oh.
As I freaking predicted, he denies Highburn are coming to war. Denies it. He's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, he just went, Lucian's like, I have my sources looking into it, and they don't give... there will be no conflict with Highburn, no war. And she's like, what? And that's it, shuts her down. So there is no conflict. He's saying, no, there won't be. And she said, but Rhys told me there will be. So why is nobody caring? And I'm a bit confused on this.
I'm starting, right, so we get into chapter 8. He's
buggered off again. Like, Tamlin's like, welcome back. Bye.
Yeah, but he said, this is the bit, right? It's like a couple of pages into chapter 8. This is the bit that absolutely I got livid with. She's like talking to him, and it's about the teeth.
Oh,
thing.
the teeth thing.
The tax situation. And Tamlin says to one of the, sorry, what are they called?
The water wraiths, isn't it?
Yeah, you have 3 days. To which they respond, we have no gold, and do not interrupt me.
Yeah. Like,
I was like, and then they go, oh, I'm so sorry, apologies, like that. And he's like, you have 3 days to pay, or bring double next month.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just like really harsh and uncompassionate, and it was just like conversation over.
Yeah, and then clearly this is when FEYRE's like, what the fuck, right? What the F? And she goes and she does a really lovely thing where she says, we don't need a basket of fish. Why make her suffer like that? And he's just like, this is how things are done, which, as you know, is a conversation I've had with you many a time. It's the classic thing when you're in a workplace and you say, here's a better, more efficient way of doing something, or a faster way of doing something that's effective. And they go, oh, well, this is just how things are done. That doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean that's a good thing. And it's just, this is the way things are done. But we can change things. We've literally gone through a trauma. Everyone has. Can we change things? Like,
yeah,
should we keep things the same as before COVID?
Tamlin needs to get effed, basically. You know, he's a total douchebag. And it's so nice because that's when FEYRE goes up to the water wraith.
She gives them her gold, her like bracelet and her necklace, doesn't she?
Jewelry. She gives them the jewelry. But then Tamlin is saying she's undermining him because he found out about it. Tamlin's like, you undermined me. The laws are the laws and people have to pay the tax. And she's like, Lucian, this is where I just get annoyed with Lucian because he needs to puck out. He's like, well, she meant no harm, Tam. I know she meant no harm. And he snaps at her and is like, worse things have happened. Worse things can happen. Just relax. And you're like, yes, Lucian, come on.
Thank you.
Keep going. And then Tamlin's like, did I ask for your opinion?
Yeah, he's just having a hissy fit. And then she gets really angry finally. She actually,
he's like, we're not finished with this meal, doesn't she? And then she starts barking back.
But then she uses her powers to go into Lucian's mind. So she accidentally does it. No,
she doesn't know she's
didn't.
done it. He can't. Lucian isn't aware that she's doing this, is what I mean.
Yeah. And she's like, look up, push back. He's wrong. You're right. And do not back down. And she's in his mind. And then she accidentally does it. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. I don't like infiltrate his thoughts and things. And then, she just says, oh, get over yourself. And then storms out. And I'm like, thank you, FEYRE. Like, finally.
God. I love it when she just said that, when she's like, oh, get over yourself. And then she just walks out the room and you're like...
Oh, and she had 2 burned handprints on the wood as well. So that's another power as well. She can burn fire, something. Yeah.
It's like, watch out, because she's going to burn your face, Tam Tam. She's going to burn your face. It's going to be like Harry Potter in Philosopher's Stone where he burns, Professor Quirrell's face. So we get into chapter 9 now.
Yeah, and... this is just a bit more about her going a bit downhill. That he tries to help her and said, I'm really sorry for snapping at you. I got you a paint set.
And did she not explain before that she is not into painting right now?
Yeah, she's like, oh, great, thanks, a paint set. And then she tries to use this and by asking him questions, saying, oh, you work too much. Can I help out a bit more? I need to get around the grounds. I'm suffocating. And she says something about drowning, doesn't she? And then he loses he loses his shit at
the end of chapter 2 because she basically is saying, I'm drowning, sitting
So having
in
a
this
frank
house
chat.
with all of these guards around me. I'm suffocating. And basically she says, you know, if you want this, then you should find someone to marry who can put up with this protectiveness.
Yeah.
And
because he said, you don't want to get married. And she's like, no, I'm not saying that, but I can't get married like this.
Yeah, it is because she's like, I'm drowning. And she's like, I managed to say, so she's struggling to choose. She's like, I'm drowning, and the more you do this, the more guards, you might as well be shoving my head under the water. So she's finally going, listen to me, Tamlin, I'm not happy. And then he, instead of listening, just decides to smash a bunch of windows, shattering walls, and
the paint set. Boom.
Exploding everything. You're like, great.
Oh,
great.
yeah. And then while she's doing that, she accidentally has another power, doesn't she? And she creates a massive shield around herself, and he can't get into the shield.
No. And actually, why the hell didn't he put up that shield then? You know, I'm just saying, but he probably doesn't have the shield power. But he's like, once again, he
does.
apologizes.
But we found about that later on.
No, but he does the same thing, Linda. He does the same shit. He literally goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's have sex.
Yeah, he does. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me in. I really love you. Let's have sex. Yeah.
It is a toxic relationship.
It is going to be a toxic relationship.
The max.
It's just a physical relationship. Nobody wants to talk to each other. Nobody wants to have emotions here. They just want to have sex and then not talk to each other.
Honestly, it's
and have the
bad.
image of a perfect couple.
Yeah, not sustainable. It's not good, and FEYRE needs to really make a hard choice here. So we get to.
He made love to me morning and night. He was apologizing for days. He worshipped my body, his tongue, his teeth, but that had never been the hard part. I was like, well, yeah, you know that now yourself.
Yeah, but it's going to start meaning nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he doesn't mention any powers of hers. Like, they don't talk about the shield that she did.
No, he doesn't want to. No.
He doesn't talk about anything else, maybe her strength or whatever.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
No. And I have to say, thank God, halfway through this chapter, Rhysand returns.
Yes, and says, thank God, I don't want this pity party. Let's go.
But she kind of, because unfortunately, I'm happy that he does come, because she starts dipping into this, oh, well, I do understand that Tamlin is trying to be protective, you know, and, you know, it's not what she needs now, but she gets it. And so when he is away, she spends time in the library practicing. So she's doing
that's good. She is doing
and her mind shield. So what happened with Rhysand is clearly sinking in. And then Rhysand returns and Tamlin offers anything he wants to bargain. But Rhysand says, like, no, I've got everything. But I do love it because he's like, get out. I'll say it one more time. And he's just like, FEYRE, are you running low on food here? And then this is the point, because she's stick skinny. She has been vomiting her guts out and no one has been she's malnutritioned.
Yeah, nobody wants to like admit the obvious, and he's just there going, okay, I'll say it then. Boom. And I'm like, yeah, we all need a friend like Rhysand to say, yep, what's going on? It's like having a drag queen friend and just saying the blunt thing, and you're like, yeah.
Bitch, you fat.
Yeah, and you're like, thank you.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you need the honesty. It's like, FEYRE, are you running low on food here? And Tamlin is like, what?
Shut your mouth.
Like... and Rhysand just goes, come on, let's go. And Tamlin is just, get out. She will come to you when she's ready. And And I do love it when Rhysand's just, oh, no, you wouldn't have. As far as your memory serves me, the last time Tamlin's teeth were near your throat, you slapped him across the face. Like, shut your mouth! Shut it!
Yeah, exactly. And then he's just like, put some clothes on, and then he's sorry. Like, they do have a strange, like, so when he's going into the room, and he's just waiting outside for her. Tamlin and her do have the most honest most honest conversation they've ever had, to say like,
Yeah.
how did he get in here? You need to, he's just playing a part that he was given. If war's coming, and she's trying to like mend things with him, and he's saying, FEYRE, why did you need to know these things? It's like, this is the first time he's opened up about, why do you need to know these things? I've been trying. And she's saying, it's not working. You need to tell me more things. Rhysand is telling me this. And that's it. And then, and then Rhysand's like, let's go. And you're like, that was a tiny slither of what could have been.
It's too little too late, you know? And even so, he just isn't going to change.
No,
he just
he's
isn't.
not.
I mean, he's had a whole book, and he ain't doing it, Linda.
He had the whole book.
He's had a whole book, and you're like, so then
So
you
she's
get
put
into...
so she's back into like the night court again, and she's put on the night clothes and realised that they don't
Chapter
really
11.
fit her that well, because they're quite baggy now. And he said, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah. Because clearly between the times that she was going to get married
1 month,
and she has lost so much weight, which just no one's looking after her. She's not being looked after. She's not looking after herself, and Tamlin sure as hell isn't looking after her. And so it's nice to have a friend like Rhysand, like you said, bitch, you're too skinny. You need food.
Yeah, tell you the honest chat and being like, right, okay, eat something, go sleep, take care of yourself. Come on. And he is still putting up a fight.
This is a guide to mental health and physical health.
It's funny that you see FEYRE as her usual self with Rhysand, because she is fighting up, saying, go to hell. And he's like, oh, play with me. And she's like, you're a prick. And she does stand up for herself, but she doesn't do that with Tamlin. And she doesn't do that with Lucien as well. She used to do that with Lucien too, and she doesn't do it. Because Lucian's just a wimp.
It's the dynamic has definitely changed in the Spring Court, and she's just not happy. She's not happy at all, and nobody's supporting her. Rhysand's been the first person after everything to go, you're hiding, you're not healthy mentally or physically. Here's the things that you need to do, and you need to get your shit straight. And she's like, huh? What? Because she's been too depressed, and nobody's really... Yeah, so it's just hiding it. But it is interesting seeing the concern from Rhys going, your weight loss is a lot. And because he's really freaked out by it.
Yeah, he said, is this why you look like your grief and guilt and rage are eating you alive bit by bit? And she's like, get out of my head. And he's like, make me. Go on then, use your shield thing. And he's trying to get her like a reaction out of her.
Fight.
Just to snap out of it. And makes her eat.
So, and then I guess from that she kind of realizes she doesn't want to be a pawn. So through Rhysand's, the mind thing and other things, she then just realizes, I've got to try and be better, because she doesn't want to manipulate her, and she doesn't want to be manipulated, and she doesn't want to be coddled, I guess. But she was at one point, she does try to go back to her book, but he seals it shut, and she turns the book to like ice. And then you realize, whoa,
she's got something else.
And then she throws it at his head, and then was it the ice turns into flames on her fists or something?
Yeah, but then he's like, let me help you. Went through enough of the mountain, and she doesn't want him. And she says, look, she wins. That bitch wins if you let her fall apart. Like, giving her the honest talk. So I'm glad that she's getting all these honest things. And he's asking me, how do I help you? Tell me what to do. And she is slowly coming around to it. I mean, she's
getting there.
Yeah.
But at the same, I'm not pissed at FEYRE at all, even at this point, because
I'm not pissed.
She is depressed. She is suffering. And you know that she will get through it. but it's just going to take time. And it's good to have a friend like Reese and like
Yeah, because she does finally at the end of this chapter goes, I realized I was in free fall with no end, and I had been for a while from the moment I'd stabbed that fair youth in the heart. I didn't look up at him again as I devoured the food. So she's kind of like changed, going, I'm going to eat the food now. I'm going to look after myself. And the next morning she gets to the this morning she gets back to the spring court, and he's again like, get out, get inside, Freya, like growling at her. And he's just like, fight it. And like, before he goes, find a way to end this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, fight it. And then she just says, I'm fine to Tamlin, because Jesus is like, I'll find a way to end
it. Goes
it,
back
you
to
don't
normal.
have to keep going to Reese. And she's just like, nah. I think she's now realizing that the time she spends at the night court is actually is better than living in the spring
she's
court.
not even going outside. She's still inside, but it's just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she needs to get out of the spring court ASAP.
Yeah.
And she needs to use him to just get out and realize this isn't where I want to be.
Sorry, hold on a moment. Do you want something?
I do. Hi,
What?
We're in the middle of a recording.
Yeah, we're in the middle.
Hi.
Okay, we'll discuss it in a minute. Okay, I'm nearly finished.
We're almost finished, actually. We're only got 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Okay, action.
Okay. So Lilia's lost her first tooth, so we have to play a Tooth Fairy later.
Are you going to be the Tooth Fairy from Family Guy?
I don't know the Tooth Fairy from Family Guy.
It's basically just like a guy that's just a bit rough around the edges wearing a Tooth Fairy costume, and then he goes back to his apartment and there's just like a crap load of teeth, and he just falls on it and goes, like that. Because what are they doing with those teeth, okay? Just saying.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Well, yeah.
So,
no.
So we get to... So chapter 12. She's back at as you know, with Tam.
Spring court. It's awful. She's guarded. She's not allowed out, and she's not allowed to do bloody anything. And no one tells her anything either.
Yeah, but this is the point. This is the point, right? I think, if I'm right. Hold on. Is this, before I continue recording, sorry, is this the point where he locks her up in the house and she says, don't you dare. Yeah.
They have a bit where...
Okay, yeah, he does. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So, sorry, I'll start again. So now we go into chapter 12, and this is the chapter that I raged at.
Yeah, so she's angry. She's been kept out again. She doesn't get told anything. She's been kept inside. She's all alone. He dismissed actually all the staff, so there's nobody in there, and it's just silent. And she's getting worse and worse. It's like she can't get out of it as well, so she just gets worse and worse, and doesn't stick up for herself. She's a different person in the night court, and she's not eating. And Lucian said he would stick up for her, and because there's a point where Lucian sees her and she's got claws out in her skin.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes her aside and says, how long's this been going on for? And she said, that's the first time. And he said, let me have a chat with Tamlin. And he does. They just, like, him and Iantha just shut him down and say, no, you're not going to training. And he's like, no, you need to, like, let her train. These powers are becoming more apparent. No, they're going to kill her. And this is when Iantha says, I've got friends in Highburn as well. Nothing will happen to her. And she doesn't even come down for dinner.
Okay, that's like, immediately sus. She has friends in Highburn. Yeah. Excuse me, red flag.
Where was it? There was a... And if they do not kill Freya outright, they might as well realize what they stand to gain if gifted with offspring of her too. And she was like, and you're like, okay, Tam, just let her train, like Lucian's saying, and he won't let her train. And then Iantha says, oh, we might not be able to deal with him. That's Rhysand. But there are some friends that I made across the sea.
Immediately sus. How is Tamlin not thinking about that at all.
Yeah, he must
For,
know of something. He supposedly
yeah,
had connections with Hybern before and Amarantha, so I'm guessing there's something else there.
yeah, there's something else to sus, and maybe that's why he keeps denying there's a war coming. Maybe not for him, maybe it's just for the other courts and he's being selfish about it. I don't know. But then it's like the next day, Tamlin and Lucia prepare to leave for their mission, and then she says, "I want to go with you guys."
Yeah, but before
Tamlin,
that, she goes to before that, she doesn't come down for dinner, and he doesn't go and check on her. So,
no,
and he just, now he's off on a mission. And you're like,
yeah,
do
he
you
just
care
says
about this girl? No.
it's like he's just not dealing with
No.
he's not, when it's too difficult, he doesn't want to deal with it. That's basically when it's too hard, he doesn't want to deal with it. But this is the point for me where Tamlin can go to hell. This is the point for me. And so FEYRE says she wants to go on the mission with them. Tamlin's of course like no. And she's trying to say, please, I cannot stay in this house. I cannot be sealed here. It's just it's too much. It's just I can't. And he just goes, no. Stay,
No.
you're not leaving. And he puts up a freaking barrier to stop her, which she runs into, and she's rasping. She's trying to push against the wall. He doesn't turn
she's a
around.
prisoner.
She's slamming her hand constantly at this invisible barrier. And she's like, and Lucian, don't bother trying. I know he says softly, he's like, don't bother trying. Like, but I'm just like, listen, you coward, you coward. Like, you should have said,
a coward.
He's like, just be patient, FEYRE. And he's trying to be the nice guy. But what aggravates me is Tamlin, he's not even looking. He's just walking forward.
He just
he's
goes
like,
off.
I have said my piece. You are sealed. Enough. That's it. And she is now trapped. She's hyperventilating. She's freaking out. She is suffering. And I really feel for her. And she's like, I'm locked up. I can't. I'm just, she's spiraling out of control. It's awful to feel like you're trapped. And she's like, I can't get out. And can't get out. And she just keeps saying it. And then, luckily, at the end of this chapter, it changes up.
Well, before she actually does make a realization as well, while she's having a bit of a breakdown. She said, I let him convince me not to learn these things for his sake. So you're like, finally, it's getting that you're doing everything for him, and he doesn't care about you. You doesn't care. He's not thinking about you.
It's a one-sided relationship. You're allowing him to take everything, and he's screw this guy. After everything you did for him under the mountain, I don't think so.
Yeah. So she is just like having a breakdown now, and her powers are out of control or something. She's got this massive black shadow or something of like a bubble around her or something that she's just having a meltdown.
Right. What was it again? Hold on. Yes, she creates a cocoon of darkness, ice and fire around herself, and it's melting the engagement ring off her finger. And I'm like, melt that shit off, girl. And I feel for her. Actually, when I was reading this chapter, I could feel that horrid trappedness. I was like, it was so well written, and I did feel it. I was oh my god, somebody save her. And thankfully some slender strong hands grip me under the shoulders, and it's she's like, oh my god, Amarantha's come to kill me, because she's in the negative spiral. But luckily it's Moore who is Rhysand's
comes to get
cousin, who says, but she's kind of confused, like, how did you get through the barrier? But obviously she's not really thinking that completely. But,
reshattered it with half a thought. But also Alice is there, and she just goes, please take care of her. Like, Alice kind of knows all this stuff has been going on, and she's just like,
Alice has had it. She's seeing it, and she's seeing her fall apart, and she's just gone, yep, take her out of here. She doesn't deserve this crap. But I mean, for Rhys to shatter it with half a thought, that's like, I'm sorry, but that's so nice. Like, that's oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm
Yes, he's
like,
protecting her,
oh.
but let's just keep wary.
Yeah, but at the darkest point when you feel trapped, somebody can feel you. And obviously, because she still has that tattoo thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, probably raged, shattered it with half a thought because he's super powerful. And then more comes in saying, you're free. You know, you're free. And then basically they leave, don't they? And they go
Yeah, it seems like they go through a
to-
cave and then they're another court.
Yeah, there's like a shortcut to the night court somehow. Maybe some transportation, what you call it?
Who knows?
Something.
But they have
I
to
don't know.
do something by the book because Tamlin's allowed to bring an army into the night court, so that's why he couldn't go in. That's why Moore had to go in and walk
That's
out
right.
rather than him winnowing in and winnowing out. So, yeah.
That's right, because she says, I did everything by the book, and then we're done here, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, and as she falls asleep when she gets there, and that's that. So, we're in the last final chapter of part 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 13.
So I have a bit of a confession to make, is that I only was able to read maybe the first paragraph. So you're going to have to tell me what happened in chapter 13.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Tell
Right.
me. She's made it to
Okay.
cross, and then what happened?
So, to sum up this final bit, so we're at chapter 13. So FEYRE like wakes up. She's in Rhysand's house again, and he explains to her, like, I could feel your pain, so
through the pond.
I had to do something. And so Rhysand says, you can stay here as long as you want, it's up to you. And FEYRE basically starts talking to Rhysand. She says that she will stay until she gets her head right, until she figures things out.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so Rhysand has to go away on business, I guess, High Lord stuff.
Oh, of course it is. Okay.
She asks if she can go with him because she needs to get out. The girl needs to get out, and obviously
let me go out.
Tamlin is like, no. So Rhysand goes, okay. If she goes with him, she has to lie about it forever. That sorry, he tells her that she goes, she'll have to lie.
She's not allowed to give
that
anything away.
She'd rather have those. I don't know.
Have you this chapter yet?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember the secret part. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, yeah, right. So she asked to go with Rhys on his mission, business, whatever. So he says, he doesn't say no and he doesn't say yes. What he says is, okay, you can come with me, but you're going to have to lie about it forever. So you can't go to the spring court and start mouthing off about what is going to
going on here.
So I can take you with me, but you can't
That's
go back
fair.
to spring court and go, oh, we went here and stuff like this. Like, you're going to have to lie about it forever. So it's clearly something. He says, otherwise, if you can't do that, you need to stay here. So she chooses, I can lie. It's fine. I want to go. And he then tells them that they're going to a place called Valaris, which is called the City of Starlight, which you can see on the map. It's on the top. It's on the left side of the Night Court. And this
it's in like Fort William.
Yeah, it's like on the UK map.
Fort
it's Fort William.
Okay.
So they go to Fort William, Valaris, the City of Starlight. But that's where they're gonna go. So FEYRE is like, she thought that Amarantha had destroyed every city, but she's not aware of this city, Valaris. So they have a thing called winnow. They winnow. So winnow's like when you, I don't know, apparate in Harry Potter. It's like, woo, and then you go. So it's the type of teleportation. So they winnow, and then they arrive in the foyer of a little homey townhouse. And then that's where the chapter kind of ends. And then we then begin, obviously the next part is beginning part 2, which is the House of Wind.
The House of Wind.
So we've
yeah,
just finished the House of Beasts, and this is it. But he says, sorry, remember. Yeah. So that's the end of chapter 13, where they clearly are in a new city that she wasn't aware of, and that Amarantha clearly wasn't aware of, because it was pretty much all cities were destroyed. Hence probably the reason for him to say, you cannot tell anybody about this. And they end up in a little homey house, and that's where it ends. Oh, wow. So we're now going to pick up wherever the hell this Valaris place is, and what's his business. But what's nice is that he hasn't said no to her. He's said,
no, he didn't say no,
come.
you have to stay here. That's been quite nice, that he's different than Tamlin, that he's not going to shut her, he's going to let her be his best friend.
I also think Rhysand is doing it because he's trying to say to
protect
her,
his lands.
Like, the Night Court. No, but also this is not who we are. This story that you've been told about how we're horrible people and dark and nasty and monsters. This isn't who we are. This isn't what we're about.
I love it. You're taking that thing, and I was like, yeah, he's basically doing it so he can get her powers and defend his lands. He wants to protect his lands and his cities, so he just wants to have a powerful fae there with magical powers. That's what he's doing.
But he's also trying to show her he's not a bad guy.
Okay, I hope like they become besties and they come out there and they rule the world together. But he is using her to defend his lands. Just letting you out there. Just remember that.
No. He's lovely. I like Rhys. As soon as I read this, I was like, yeah, Rhysand, yeah.
He has become considerably less creepy, actually. He has become a lot less creepy, so that's good.
Yeah, but then maybe being under the mountain, however long he was there, he had to have sex with Amarantha repeatedly when he didn't want to.
God.
Remember, he had to do that.
Yeah.
He had to be her whore, and he hated that.
I don't understand why when she had like she wanted Tamlin. Like they'd look nothing like.
Yeah, I think it was just the fact that she ordered him to do it, and that was it.
Oh well.
And he had to do it to protect clearly his people in this city that we didn't know anything about. So, are you enjoying this book?
It's a lot better than, I think, A Court of Thorn and Roses. It's more enjoyable because we had like the whole wedding thing, the Tith, and then this bit where you get the insight into the night courts. And so I am enjoying this a lot better than, and there seems to be more action into it. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what powers she has. I'm kind of interested to see that and how she is and what this place is in Fort William.
Valaris, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely picks up the pace. It's good. It definitely picks up the pace a lot quicker. You're into it, and it's fast. What? It's so 180 on the last book already.
Yeah, it is a lot better. Like I feel. Yeah, there's some kind of difficult things you're getting in there and some emotions, but knowing the characters, so we don't have to do that whole building of worlds. So I can go straight in, which is good. So I'm glad about that. But yeah, I hope the story stays at the sort of same pace and it doesn't go down and thing. But let's just see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, what's your opinion at this moment in the book of Lucian and Tamlin?
Oh, it's just Tamlin's just grumpy. I feel like now, before I thought he could change and I was waiting for that moment and I thought it was the end where he changed his ways and it was just that he was grumpy about and he was going to let her in. But obviously now I'm like, no, he's grumpy. He does not want a relationship. He just wants her on a pedestal for image and a sexual relationship. He doesn't want to have a chat. And so I am actually turning off Tamlin at the moment. I'm like, no, you actually can't change. So that's not happened. And Lucian, I actually really upset about Lucian because I did really like Lucian and I thought he was like the bestie of FEYRE and they were going to be good besties. And now he's just like a wet wipe.
What did it for me was when she was tapping on the force field of like being trapped at the spring court, he just said, just Just, be patient. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
she saved all your asses. She saved all of you.
Yeah, it was before that. It was when every time he would always have good intentions. And so I do think the real Lucian's in there, but he's just getting shot down. And I think he is having a bit of what FEYRE has. And he's just got PTSD going, I nearly died. I nearly died again. I thought, oh, things would be better, but they're not better. And now I'm like, and so he's just being like really having PTSD too. And now Rhysand is coming around. He's taking Lucian's place as the bestie and giving all the good one-liners and the back stabs and stuff like that. So I feel like, Lucian's been replaced by Rhysand and they're going to have a besties now thing.
That's it. I mean, I'm really disappointed in Lucian. I kind of hope that he, I don't know, regains some, or he's just better, or comes back and goes, you know what? F you, Tamlin. I'm not your bitch anymore.
I don't agree with that.
I think he needs to do that. He needs to separate himself from Tamlin, and everyone needs to separate themselves from Tamlin. He is a toxic manipulator. He needs to go.
He's not a good friend to Lucian, so maybe he just say, I'm going to get my own place. I'll still work for you, but we're not going to have dinner every night. Bye.
I think, do you know what it is? It's one of those friendships, because the Fae lived for so long, that it obviously started out being great. Like, they were different people. And then it's just grown to this, and now it's just a bit toxic and not very pleasant.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I enjoy this book, and it's really nice rereading it again. I really like this book.
So next week we'll be looking at The House of Wind and looking into chapters 14 to 23 and figuring out how the adventure unfolds for Freya.
And
does she get her spark back?
I hope so. Poor girl. Maybe there'll be creatures. You know how much you love the Beaujolais.
We haven't had any good creatures, actually. So, that'd be good. Yay.
I think there could be some. I think there could definitely be some.
Maybe the Beaujolais will come back. Luxurial, maybe. Yeah. Those two are my favorites. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. We appreciate and love you joining us through this discovery of A Court of Mist and Fury. Join us next week while we'll be discussing chapters 14 to 23.
Right.
Cool.
And I better get back on reading then.
Indeed. And please follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and you may be watching this on YouTube or Spotify, but you can also find us on a range of whichever podcast platform you listen to or watch, indeed. And if you'd like to follow us, our book club, we're on Fables Book Club, which is also in our link, which you can find on our socials. Just click the Linktree link and you will be able to see where to join it. So anyway, yes, we better get reading then.
Yeah, great. Okay then.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.